If you have recently lost a loved one who is receiving Social Security benefits, it's normal to wonder what's going to happen to that in the coming months, because I know firsthand how catastrophic it can be, not only to go through that grief, but then also have to wonder about your financial future. I recently walked this path with a loved one of my own, and so today I want to share with you what I have learned about what happens to Social Security when someone passes away. So I want you to know that you're not alone in this. Lots and lots of people have these questions, and I am so sorry that you're experiencing this loss. Today we're going to talk about what happens to those benefits, what steps you need to take, what other benefits you may qualify for, and where to find help if you're struggling financially. The most important rule to remember here is the rules say that they are not payable for the month of death, no matter what day the person passed away. So even if someone dies on the last day of the month, that month's payment generally has to be returned. And I know how unfair that sounds, because it's then stacking financial hardship on top of your grief at a time when you're facing unexpected expenses to start with. We are going to talk about some resources here in a moment that may be able to assist you. So please don't just give up hope and click away, because we're going to try to paint a full picture for you here on where else you can turn. So part of the reason that the payments are handled this way is because Social Security benefits are paid retroactively or 1 month behind. So a payment that arrives after someone dies may represent an earlier month when the person was alive. The key is to understanding what month that payment covers before you take any action. So payments for the month of death are generally not payable and have to be returned. Payments for the prior month when the person was alive may still be owed to the estate, but banks will often return those payments automatically. Social Security, however, can confirm whether any money was still owed. So generally, even though it's very hard to do when you have those unexpected expenses, the advice is to leave those post-death deposits alone until Social Security confirms whether that payment was for a month when the person was entitled to receive those benefits. So oftentimes the funeral home will notify Social Security on your behalf, but it's always a good idea to confirm that that was actually done. If you do need to report it yourself, you would just need to contact Social Security with the person's name, Social Security number, date of birth, date of death. You may need to have some documentation to back that up, but generally, like I said, the funeral home will take care of that for you. So ultimately, you can't really continue receiving benefits for the person who has passed away. A lot of people get in trouble for that because they try to hide or cover up the death to continue receiving benefits, and that's never a good idea. It is not legal, and it can carry some really, really serious consequences. That being said, there may be other benefits that you may qualify for as a survivor. So we know that Social Security pays out benefits for surviving spouses. You may qualify as early as age 60 or age 50 if you are disabled. Children under 18 may qualify for survivors' benefits, including some students and disabled adult children. Surviving divorced spouses may even qualify for benefits if the marriage lasted at least 10 years. And then dependent parents age 62 or older may be eligible also based on the deceased worker's record. So for those survivor benefits, the value really depends. So the key factors that determine the amount of those benefits would be the deceased worker's lifetime earnings history, the survivor's age at the time of the claim, the type of benefit being claimed, and whether multiple family members are also claiming at the same time. That's because Social Security has a family maximum rule. So if multiple family members qualify for survivor benefits based on the same worker's record, then the Social Security family maximum rules may reduce the amount each person receives. And that's because the total paid to all survivors cannot exceed a certain cap. And honestly, this feels pitiful. A $255 Social Security death payment that is payable for survivors. This is a one-time lump sum payment. And it only goes to one person. So the surviving spouse who was living with the person at the time of their death has first priority. If they don't have a surviving spouse, then an eligible child of the person who passed away may qualify. You generally have 2 years from the date of death to apply for this. That window cannot be extended, though. I know that $255 is not a lot, especially when you're facing funeral costs, but I just want to stress again that continuing to use benefits after someone passes away can have serious consequences. The Social Security Administration actively investigates and prosecutes these cases, and it can carry a lot of consequences, including repayment of all benefits received after the date of death, overpayment investigations and collections actions, federal fraud charges, potential prison sentences. So it's really important to call Social Security and ask if you have any doubts about the payments that you have received. Now, all of that being said, I also want to warn you about scams, because scammers are terrible and they don't care that you're grieving. So a lot of scams will target grieving families because they know you're heartbroken and stressed out and so much is going on and it's hard to think through it. And so they will absolutely prey on you in that moment of just absolute despair. And I hate that. But please be cautious. Remember that Social Security will never call and demand immediate payment to resolve a death issue or a benefits issue. No government agency will ever request payment in gift cards or wire transfers or cryptocurrency. That just doesn't happen. Social Security will not threaten arrest over the phone. That is a fear tactic that scammers like to use. And they will not press you for your Social Security number or bank details after calling you as an unsolicited caller. So please protect that information. If you ever have any doubts about a call you've received, you can hang up and call Social Security back directly. You can find their contact information at ssa.gov. So I understand that for a lot of people, losing this income creates a financial emergency. I just walked through this with a loved one earlier this year when their spouse passed away, and it cost the household close to $1,000 a month. So in those instances, I want to remind you of other benefits that might exist for you, and I also want to point you to some resources that may be able to help with any of those final expenses, because I know those are so expensive. So first, if you qualify, SNAP benefits can be a lifesaver. Food banks can also help. I always recommend that you look into any benefits that you may qualify for, whether that's SNAP for food or Medicaid for your medical costs or LIHEAP for your utilities. We have lots and lots of videos on other assistance programs that may be able to assist you. Another great resource is our website, lowincomerelief.com, and we like to update these resources with everything we can find. So if you prefer video, you can find this video on our Fast Facts channel, but we also have a list here that we update pretty regularly that'll walk you through all the different programs that may be able to assist you with those funeral expenses. And we'll link to this in the description and in our pinned comment if you need that extra support. If there is anything else that you need assistance with, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're doing our best to answer your questions as quickly as they come in. We're here to help as much as we are able to do so. And just know that you are in our thoughts and in our prayers, and we are so sorry for your loss. Yeah, go check out this other resource, and we'll be back soon with more ways that you can get help and support.